What's up, ladies, gents, and everyone in between? Shoe Woody Sports coming at you Tuesday night, per the always. I'm Grandpa on this screen. That's Bradley D. Brown on the other. Say what's popping, Bradley D. Brown.
It's happening with the middle initial.
That was quite the delay, man, but it's okay. Yeah, whatever. That was quite the delay on my response there. Anyway, before we get going, let's give a quick shout out to our sponsor. Shoe Booty Sports is presented by Rhino Races. Rhino Races is a virtual race series that offers 5 different races: a 5K, 10K, half marathon, a marathon, and the one of a kind Rhino Ultra. You can sign up for one or all 5 of their races at rhinoraces.com. Run your race at your convenience. Track it with your fitness app of choice. Screenshot your results as proof of completion. Submit that screenshot to rhinoraces.com under the submit results section. Once your results are verified by Rhino Races staff, your award will be shipped to you by mail. Also, check out their gear section while you're there for t-shirts, wristbands, decals, and more. That's rhinoraces.com. Rhino Races is the premier virtual running series, and you can find us Shoe Booty Sports on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on X at Shoe Booty Sports. You got a nice beard going on there.
Yeah, I've been pretty lazy last week or two. So
Well, it's a good length. That's where I like my beard length, where yours is at for those of you watching on Spotify and YouTube. Mine just gets to a certain point, and I even plan it out to where it's like, okay, it's one, it's too long. Two, I would like to have a beard back by maybe this date in a few weeks or so. I even think that far ahead. So I'm like, if it's, I'm going to cut all this, now's the time. So that's what I did not quite a week ago, but at some point last week. I just shaved the entire head from like the neck up.
yeah,
So
I'm getting close to doing that.
it's good to do. It's just good to get it all out of the way. It'll grow back. What? Yeah, the beard for
In those
sure.
spots, yes, it grows back.
Yeah, the beard for sure it grows back. On the head, at this point, it's just the sides and the lower part of the back portion. Okay. As I take a sip of water, I'm sure you all cared to hear about that, but it's what it is. We had a few sports that took place to talk about, I guess. Winter Olympics is officially wrapped up. It wrapped up Sunday, right?
I think so, maybe. I don't know. It could still be going on as far as I know.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can just say you don't know. That's okay. No, it wrapped up Sunday. Sunday was the gold medal game for men's hockey. That's going to be the big thing we talk about there. I didn't watch the game. I didn't watch the women's gold medal game in hockey or the men's gold medal game. One, it was at 7 a.m. Two, I had a race that afternoon, so I wanted to catch up on some sleep, and I was just busy doing stuff the night before. And it was the girlfriend's birthday this past yesterday. But it was her birthday weekend. I was like, let me correct that really quick for when she listens to this. Her birthday was yesterday, but I hung out with her Friday night and Saturday, most of Saturday night. I did go home Saturday and then Saturday night. I did go home Saturday night because I had to go to Russellville Sunday for a race there. But basically, I didn't watch any of the big two hockey games, the men and women. But the United States put boot to ass to Canada in both games. And yeah, USA ends a 46-year drought as far as the men's hockey team, that is, getting a gold medal. The last one was the Miracle on Ice, which you and I weren't alive for in 1980, but heard all about it. I mean, they made a movie about it and everything, beating a Russia team that was considered by far, in a way, the best team, in the Olympics. And Canada, it's their sport, and they always seem to come out on top, especially in recent years. The most recent of which I remember, it was a couple Olympics ago, I believe, the U.S. men's hockey team. I mean, was just at it with Canada, and I think it was an overtime. It also went to overtime. Sidney Crosby got the goal to win it for Canada, and I believe that again that was a couple Olympics ago. Then the what was the four team invitational tournament? Was it last year?
Yeah, I don't remember what it was called, but yeah, I do remember. It was like Canada, U.S., Russia, maybe it was in there. I don't know.
I there were four countries. The two I remember, the United States, Canada. Of course, everything's political now, and just the stuff going on with tariffs and everything has led to bitterness between Canada as far as how they feel towards Americans. I'm not speaking for the whole country, but certainly some. And they booed our national anthem, and the United States team responded by starting three fights within the first 9 seconds of the that game, I believe, and then proceeding to win, I think 3-1. I believe. Well, I could be wrong on that score, but Canada got them back in the championship of that invitational four-team tournament. So Canada, when it's really mattered, has always come out on top. I mean, they're typically just the better team. I mean, again, it's their sport. It would make sense if we played them at football, American football. It'd be belt to ass, United States, rock flag and eagle. But hockey is traditionally Canada's sport. But the United States took that from Canada this Olympics, men and women, and this is the men's team, especially. I don't see how you don't love that team. Jack Hughes taking a hockey stick to the face, to the teeth, knocking a tooth, chipping a tooth, a front tooth.
Looks
That's
pretty
an
gnarly. Yeah.
Yeah, that was an iconic photo when they did win it. By the way, of him just fist up and smiling with bloody mouth and a missing part of his tooth. I mean that was cool. But for the United States to get it done, I was really happy to see that. I'd kind of forgotten about the game. I had a lot going on Sunday, and then by the time I checked on social media, I saw somebody said something about the game, and I was like, did we win?" Like I wasn't shocked that we won, but it was an upset. It's because it's always close. It was a matter of time before the United States team got the better of them. But like in the big games, that Canada usually comes out on top. But checking that and it's like, wow, did we actually win this? And then just watching the highlights, that was so cool to see. I keep telling myself I'm going to go back and watch it. I may not. I just may go watch the highlights. I don't know. But if I get time or bored sitting around one day, I may go back and watch the whole thing. Just see how everything unfolded. But that's amazing. The United States men's and women's team gold medals in hockey against Canada. Winter Olympics. It doesn't get any better than that. Proud to be an American. Always am, but especially over I don't know about especially, but that's just pretty cool to me.
Yeah,
Thoughts?
I didn't get to. Well, I didn't get to watch either of the two games. I didn't even know the women were playing Sunday morning. I knew the guys were playing at what 8 a.m. our
Now
time.
the guys played Sunday morning. The women played during the week because I
See, yeah,
because
that tells you how much I followed the Olympics.
somebody had it on at okay, our pharmacy at work. Our pharmacy department has a whole TV in there and everything, which is kind of funny because the maintenance department has a whole TV, like a massive TV and everything, where they can watch everything. My department doesn't have that, which is just fantastic. But I won't get into that. Point is, it was on during when I was at work, so I did get to see just like glimpses of it. But the U.S. women's team was favored; they were favored to win it. The men winning it was an upset.
Yeah, the U.S. women. I mean, they've. When's the last time they got a gold? It's in the last couple of Olympics, right? I mean,
I
I
couldn't
could
tell
see
you.
them being favored. But yeah, men's USA versus Canada. Yeah, I just figured we're just going to give them a close game, and yeah, I was just going to tune in and see where we got a silver medal. But that was not the case. It was good to see. I did see online where there's a bunch of well, I wouldn't say a bunch, but there's a couple of Canadians complaining about how they didn't have Sid the Kid this year, how USA was lucky we didn't have or they didn't play against Sid. And they're also griping about the new rules with the OT going to 3-on-3. But then again, they had what, a full 60 minutes to decide at 5-on-5. So
Yeah, just win in regulation if you have a problem with the overtime rules. And guess what? The United States has to play by the same overtime rules. That would be like me complaining about the win Sunday. It was a 1 hour track run I ran in. Or that was my race, was a 1 hour track run. One side of the track was just a massive wind gust and like in your face, and the other was nothing. That'd be like me complaining about that as if everybody else didn't have to deal with the same thing.
mm, Renee
So
gets the win half of it and then getting the boost on the second half, huh?
so it didn't feel like a boost, but I was basically, it was almost like I was recovering from it on the other side where the wind wasn't in my face. But boo freaking who, man? I mean, the United States had to deal with that too. So okay, you don't like the overtime rules, so what? Beat them in regulation then. It
Yeah,
wasn't
it's
like
like
it was 3-on-4. It was 3-on-3. Get your
yeah,
best three. But plus, what is Sid Crosby now? 100 years old? He's not a kid
he's,
anymore. He was a
he's
kid.
younger than
He
us,
was a
but yeah, he's a
yeah. He was a kid back when I was like 20. I'm 41.
grown man,
Yeah, but
both
yeah,
of
I'm
you.
I'm man. I'm 41. So what is Sidney Crosby's age right now? Well, while you're finishing your thought, I'm going to look
30.
that up.
I would guess he's like 33.
33? No way.
I don't know.
He's older than that.
Can't be
I
over
mean,
36.
still a very nice player, I'm sure, but he's not the best player in the league anymore. Even
No,
then, was he ever
he hadn't been
really
the
the
best player
best?
in the league for a while.
There was a stretch where it seemed like he was the best player in the league, but it was him or Ovechkin. It was one
Yeah.
of those two. Ovechkin's 175 years old now. I mean, he's the NHL's all-time leading scorer, and so Sidney Crosby has to be, at least 75. Let's see, he's
Wait, what
38
do you?
years old.
Okay, I was wondering
Let's
what you were looking it up on. If you went back to dial up, taking a little bit.
Well, I can't talk and type at the same time apparently. 38 years old. So yeah, he really was a kid back when they called him Sid the Kid. And it's a catchy nickname and all that. He's a great player. I've always enjoyed watching him play. One of my favorite Stanley Cup finals that I've watched was when the Penguins won it in his prime years. So hockey's one of those sports though you can play till you're, in your almost mid 40s and still be effective, still play at a high level. Seems like anyway.
Yeah, they've had some Hall of Famers that go the distance, played like late 40s, I think. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Like
I say it's a.
Yaromir Yager played till he was about 200 years old, I think.
I don't know how rare it is, but I don't think it happens that often. It's not like 90% of the players are playing until their mid 40s, but say
Well,
like 10%.
no, but the great ones. My point being the great. It's not like basketball really, where I don't know. Even then, it seems like the great ones play till they're almost 40. But the great ones, I guess it's like any sport except football, unless you're a quarterback. The great ones stick around. That they are still able to play till like they're in their 40s, early to mid 40s. That's all I have to say about that. Olympics
Okay.
as a whole, I watched what I could. The most I watched of the Olympics was say on the weekend when, of course, it was what, 2 weeks. It was on the weekend at the girlfriend's house, and we pulled up Peacock, and we could watch whatever, either something live or something that was a replay. And that was the most I watched it. most enjoyable portion of the Olympics that you did watch. Now, I'm sure it would have been hockey had I watched it. So I'll just go ahead and
Definitely.
because I mean, how could you not? Exciting, and yeah, our home country won gold in for both the men and women. But apart from that, and of course we didn't even watch that, so we can't really say that. What of what you watched did you enjoy watching the most?
Probably the skeleton because I think I only watched like two events the whole Winter Olympics. Skeleton had to be one of them, and it was the one I watched the most of. I watched it for good 45 minutes or an hour. That's like so maybe in total I watched an hour and 15 minutes of the Winter Olympics.
I watched more than that, but I didn't watch more than say I don't think I watched more than 3 or 4 hours of it. I don't know that I watched more than 3 hours of it. But it was very entertaining what I did watch. And sometimes it was just on in the background. Uh, what did you call it on the last? I don't know if it was the last episode we had or the
The
one before
skull,
that.
that's what the skeleton's also known as, the skull.
Is it skeleton or skull? Because they just called it skeleton. I figured you just confused it.
I've heard people call it the skull, me included, but I don't know. I've heard it called skull by more than just me.
I've heard it called skull by you, but then again, I don't know
Hey,
anybody that does it.
I Google searched skull and it popped up skeleton race. So Google knows. So somebody else other than me.
I'll take your word for it. I'm not going to challenge you on the show about it.
Sounds like
But
we're
they were saying skeleton during the Olympics, so
I mean they do have to be technically correct. They don't just be going they just don't have to, use street language and call it slang. They don't go by skull.
so is that similar to say like for a toboggan, skull cap, or beanie?
No, I think it said they put a big fat dip of skull on their lip before they go down.
Hmm, that would be interesting. I might need that would just make me sick, I would imagine. Put a big dip in your mouth and then go head first and you're going that fast and you're doing this and
And
that. That would make me
and you
sick.
got your helmet enclosed, you can't even spit.
You just got to swallow it.
Got to gut it.
Yeah, it's gross. I'll say the skeleton was fun to watch. I think the bobsled was just as fun to watch for me, if not more so. Just because sometimes they would not steer things correctly at all, and it would just be it almost looked like the thing was going to come off the track. And just
Mhm.
looking at the track, and I don't know if they all went down the same track. It seemed like the track was the same for everybody
They do.
between this. It was.
They go on the same track, and the women or the men start off at a higher place up the track than the women do. Just that's how they go a little bit faster than the women. They start off at a higher altitude.
Okay. Well, the wall on these turns, I mean, it was like a vertical wall. I
Mhm.
mean, just like you would be just sideways on that turn.
You'd be
That's
more in
wild.
sideways.
Yeah, I mean that's wild. It doesn't really look like that on TV until I saw somebody talking next to it, like they were walking near it, and then they looked and they're like, "Is this just straight like this, vertical?" I was like, "Yeah, that's what it looks like." But I guess when you're going 70 miles per hour,
I did
you,
find it
you,
kind of funny watching the single person bobsled. Uh, just because it just looked kind of off. It looked like one bobsledder had no friends and went down in the bobsled by themselves. Just looked way too big for one person, and it looked just the size of the sled with one person in it made them look like they were going slower than what they were.
yeah, I could see that. This is gonna sound I don't know, whatever, it's what it is. The bobsleds for the single person, the designs weren't near as cool. It was like the people that designed the bobsleds for the countries or for their countries, they used it all up on the team bobsled one. Like they used all their paint and creativity on those, and at least for some, and for the single bobsleds, it was just there were a lot of them were black. It was just a bunch of black bobsleds with
It's
just
all
the
carbon
country.
fiber. That's what it is. You don't want to paint carbon fiber. Then everybody wouldn't know how cool you are with carbon fiber. Paint it over it.
It's like, why can't you paint carbon fiber? It works for Jamaica, but it didn't
Because
work.
I don't think Jamaica can afford carbon fiber.
I mean, they still had a cool bobsled.
Yeah.
Um, but like the USA and Canada had black bobsleds. This doesn't make sense. It's not on your flag. What are we doing here?
Well, I thought into that.
Um, also, that like, and this just sticks out to me that Austria's, abbreviation is AUT, and I get it. It's Australia's AUS, but it's just funny seeing the AUT. I knew exactly who it was. It's like, well, that's got to be Austria, but that just still looks funny. It's like clearly just AUS was taken, so we'll just put a T there. You know, that was how they came. Well, we'll just put a T there because the S is Australia's bigger, so we got to give them that. Okay, Olympics as a whole. You didn't watch much of it, so you can't really say. I watched a little bit of it. Pretty awesome Olympics, though, from everything I'd gathered. Sounds like our home country had a really strong showing. Norway had a strong showing, as always, because this is, it's kind of their thing. Um, yeah, all around good Olympics. I was amazed. I came away. The first night I watched the Winter Olympics, I said I'm dead wrong about the Winter Olympics. It's not. It's I never said it. I don't think I ever said it was boring, but I said it's not as exciting as the Summer Olympics. It is just as exciting. It's just in a different way. So, takeaway: I'm a fan of the Winter Olympics. Still, if I could watch one or the other, I'll take the Summer Olympics. But I like the Winter Olympics, and I was being a goofball when I said or thought or both that just wasn't as exciting.
Yeah. Total goofball move.
So, yeah, completely. Even the first and the event that made me say that was the figure skating because that was the first thing I watched. It was the couples figure skating. I thought, how in the heck are they able to do all this and do it so perfectly?
Have you not ever seen the cutting edge? I mean, you should know. You should know how they're able to pull off those fascinating moves with such delicacy.
I
I don't
haven't
know.
I haven't seen the cutting edge. Sounds like a
What?
Disney. Sounds like a Disney film, is it?
No, it wasn't a Disney film, but I don't even know who. I don't know. I had a sister, or I have a sister, and she watched that movie a ton. So of course I had to watch it a ton. It's not bad. It's a former USA hockey player goes to a rich girl's figure skating. That's all she does. I don't know. And they somehow make it work and win gold, and then everybody goes home happy. And they fall in love. So
And you're
yeah, it's probably
sure
a Disney
you're
movie.
sure this isn't a Disney movie. We're sure about
Yeah. It was not a Disney animated movie. I know that much. It could be Disney. I don't know. It's
that. Okay.
probably in under one of the Disney umbrellas.
Well, I'm googling the cutting edge.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, 1992 film. Heck, yeah. I mean, this is prime era for something like that. Of course, the 90, like I guess the Winter Olympics was probably in 92. It's a romantic sports comedy about a temperamental, wealthy figure skater, Kate Mosley, played by somebody, and a disgraced blue collar hockey player, Doug Dorsey, who are forced to become
Dorsey.
pairs figure skating partners for the Olympics. And then it goes on and on about, and then there's a romantic element to it. So it's your typical odd couple put together, and then they clash and butt heads at first, but then they just come together and just in time for the big competition. Not only do they kill it, but they fall in love. That kind of thing. I
I
assume.
will say this: you better be thankful the movie Cutting Edge came out because without that movie, we wouldn't have had Blades of Glory. They got a lot from got a lot from that one. So
Okay. I saw Blades of Glory. It had moments, but I remember thinking this isn't as funny as I wanted it to be. Because
that's most Will Ferrell movies.
yeah, it's true. And this was the guy that played Napoleon Dynamite. This was kind of like he was riding that wave still. Like, well, my
Yeah, I don't know if he was still riding that way. Well, yeah,
oh, he was. I mean, the wave was on its way down, but he was still on the board.
yeah.
Yeah, he was like, well, I gotta stretch this out as long as I can. And I don't know, I get it. Good for him. He had one hit movie. But yeah, that's fair. It's like most
Speaking of stretching it out as far as you can, Napoleon Dynamite, dear God, that movie was like two movies rolled into one. I've always thought so, but
what do you mean by that?
it just like there's a port like up until a certain point, it just drags on. It's like okay. Of course, I had to
What
watch that movie
you
way too
think
many
that?
times too. Yes, yes, I do.
I think Napoleon Dynamite's a masterpiece.
I mean, it's funny. I just think it's
It's a
about 20 minutes too long.
it's a comedic masterpiece. I don't know, man. What would you take out? What would you take out in that movie?
It's been so long since I've seen it, but whenever had to watch it a couple of times in a short period of time, girl I used to date loved the movie, so I'd sit through it. And maybe that was it. I just had to sit through it and didn't want to. Um, but yeah, it just seemed like it drug on for way too long.
Okay.
At least 15 minutes too long. I mean, it's funny,
Yeah,
but man, there's like a dead part in that movie. You're just like, just keep rolling. Go ahead and do your dance for Pedro. Let's roll the scene. Let's roll the credits.
my guess is you had to watch this movie too many times,
Yes.
and it was in a relationship that obviously didn't end well because you're not with the person still. Um, so you probably have just a little bit of natural resentment toward the movie and maybe the time. I'm gonna go with that. I watched Napoleon Dynamite like a year ago
Man,
with the
it's great.
girlfriend.
It's got Rex Kwon Do. It's got freaking the uncle who can throw the football over the mountains, Uncle Rico.
Puerto
It's
Rico.
got Pedro. It's got Napoleon. It's got the llama.
Hip.
Freaking
Your mom goes to college.
yeah.
I mean, it's an extremely quotable movie.
Because I love technology. It's but not as much as you see. But I still love technology. Always and forever.
What even is that?
It's Kip's song that he sings at his wedding, man. Because I love technology, but
This wasn't
not as much as you see.
it wasn't in the movie.
Yeah, it was.
I don't think so. I don't know.
It might be
I,
post credits, but it's on the freaking DVD. You can go look it up. It's in the movie.
yeah, I don't think that's in the main portion of the
Yeah,
movie.
he's singing at his wedding. It's in the movie.
Yeah, I think you're making that up, kind of.
I'm not.
Okay, there's Napoleon Dynamite, right? We got on Napoleon Dynamite because the
Yeah.
guy from yeah.
Cutting Edge, Blades of Glory. Yeah.
There you
So
go. Hit rewind if you can't figure out how we got to that point,
what
or trying
happens
to
in my
remember how
brain
we.
whenever I only sleep an hour and a half?
Uh, well, the movie I would revert back to that I think of, at least as far as ice hockey goes, because how many of them have there been? Minus like Miracle, which came out later, which I never saw, by the way. I never saw the movie Miracle, which doesn't make sense. It's a great story. It is a Disney movie, by the way, and it's Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell's the coach. I mean, Kurt Russell is as badass as it gets. So I'm sure it's great. But I think, especially if we're going back to like 1992, that time frame, Mighty Ducks. I mean that's it as far as the ice hockey movies. I mean that was Disney too, right?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. And
Then they just got progressively stranger with D2 and D3. Like it always bugged me, like how in Mighty Ducks 2, they still had the girls on the team, but no other team had girls. No other team they played against had girls. And then on Mighty Ducks 3, they just go and get like some foreign kid, like pick him up off the street or something, or oh no, the fat kid with the knuckle puck. They just, oh hey, you want to be on the USA team? Yeah, sure. You rollerbladed pretty good out there. Let's come join our ice hockey team. Makes no sense.
Wasn't that Keenan Thompson?
Ah, probably.
I think that was
He's in
Keenan
everything.
Thompson. Yeah, I think that was him with the knuckle
It's
puck.
knuckle puck time. I don't think that. I don't. I think if you actually hit a knuckle puck, it doesn't do anything different.
Probably not, but it was cool for a movie, like a kids movie at least. Uh, I remember it being a USA thing, and they were Team USA, which somehow just everybody on the Mighty Ducks team was made up Team USA. Uh,
Yeah, all from what, Minnesota, like 80% team from Minneapolis somehow. Like what
yeah, I
the
guess so.
hell?
And on top of that, they just completely vilified Iceland. They're like Team Iceland. There's this big bad team, and they're the clear bad guys in the movie. So
What was the coach's name?
Iceland. Oh yeah, and he was real rough on Charlie Conway. He kept making him do laps.
He was on rough on Charlie Conway because his coach was so rough on him at the early age of 6 playing hockey. No, trust me, you used to watch that movie. There's no sellout crowd for a 6-year-old hockey game. And nobody's even watching it if there was one because it's a halftime and they're all going getting refreshments. And this coach is over here coming down on, man, I wish I could remember that. Wish I could remember his name.
I couldn't remember his name.
It's right on it's right on the
Uh,
tip of my tongue. But
that's
yeah,
wild that you remember
if
the
you want,
coach.
like, it does not watch the same as it did, being what, 8 years old versus, if I don't even know when the last time I watched it, probably
Of
before I turned
course not.
20. But even then, it didn't make sense. It's like, hey, what, man? How come we didn't notice any of this crap before? Disney just pulled two fast ones on us with D2 and D3.
Yeah.
Hey, but at least we got the cool logo that the
We
NHL team adopted for their logo. Like,
Yeah, I mean, they did make a whole team and a whole NHL team based on the movie, and they did acknowledge that
and,
in D3.
and I'm pretty sure the Flying V would get picked apart by any real hockey team other than 5 or 4 people in a triangle or I don't know, man. That's in a V. I don't see that happening. I don't see that going down really good. Maybe if it's a bunch of 6 to 8 year olds doing the flying V, yeah, maybe it works. But
Right,
no,
but you got to Hollywood it up, especially for kids. But the other thing that irked me a little bit, why is Gordon Bombay
there it
not
is. Gordon
coaching?
Bombay,
Oh,
dang it.
we're talking about Emilio. I thought you were talking about the current coach, or that
No,
was
I
the
was like,
Team USA coach.
it was
Gordon Bombay
Bombay
didn't
back.
even coach. He didn't even
Yeah,
coach in D3. He just showed up and did with a sport jacket on and just was I don't know, like did an acknowledgement of the team like afterward or something after they won. It was weird. It was just some random cameo. It was like Gordon Bombay is not even in the movie really. Why is he on the
they should have
cover?
made him drive out on the ice in a limo like they did the first movie. Man, that's the way to make an entrance. Just roll down the window and he just goes, win it. Rolls up the window and just drives on.
Emilio. Anyway, yeah, we got to talk about the Mighty Ducks. I mean, it makes sense. Olympics, hockey. There's a there's a pattern there. All right,
Yeah.
before we get out of here, anything to add on '90s, early '90s pop culture sports movies before we move on to Razorback basketball?
Yeah, early 90s, they were fun, but none of the movies really relate past like 1998. Like they all. they all quickly faded out. Um,
Oh yeah, but they
yeah,
were
what
a
a
great
time to be
time.
alive, though.
It was a great
Oh
time
yeah.
to be a kid. I don't
I
think
mean,
I'll ever
hey,
forget the name Gordon Bombay, by the way. Surprised you
I
couldn't
wouldn't have
have.
been out there. Yeah, I wouldn't have been out there tearing it up playing street hockey if it wasn't for watching Mighty Ducks.
Yes. It was back when I could rollerblade. Yeah. Like well too. I really could at a certain point in
Back
time.
when everybody rollerbladed. Now
That's
nobody
the thing.
rollerblades except for like that one person in your neighborhood. And you just think, wow, you probably should stop doing that.
I
Whatever
thought
floats your boat.
there is a girl in Cabot, and I mean like a grown woman that
Yes,
roller
it's always
skates.
grown people. Yeah.
I mean, she rides around like town on roller skates. I mean, just living her best life on roller skates. I dig
Going
it.
everywhere with sweaty ass ankles and feet. Yeah.
Hey, she's having fun, man. Like roller skated up. I like that somebody's doing it, keeping my memory intact of these things exist. That's pretty cool to me. Anyway, you keep doing your thing, roller skate lady in Cabot. Anyway, uh, okay, Arkansas basketball. Arkansas got I don't know, a really nice win Saturday. Looked good in the process. Of course, coming off the loss to Alabama, and double overtime. We covered that already. I believe we did anyway. But
I don't think we have. I think that was after we played them on
oh, it
Wednesday.
was, yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
Everybody's saying it was kind of a ref screw job, which, I mean, yeah, there are some terrible calls. I mean, hell, even one call had to be overturned a review because they missed it on the replay, the goaltend. Um, but yeah, I mean, they did
Okay,
change some calls to benefit the Hogs too to keep our like fourth person fouling out a minute or two earlier.
well,
But
I
yeah,
was going to
after
say, hang on. Like, we had four guys foul out. They had none. They had one guy with four fouls. Their best player foul on, I think, had zero fouls the whole game. So
and they
there was something to that. But
oh yeah,
Alabama made
definitely.
shots and won the game.
Well, they didn't make shots. They just went in, they just drove the ball in and laid it up to score 20 something straight points. We were
That
ahead
too.
by 17, then everybody gets in foul trouble and they can't throw up their hands because they're going to foul. And so basically it's like them running offense against dummies. Of course they're going to go 20 for their last 21 shots cuz they're I mean hell they were like 80 something percent in the paint because that's all they were doing.
That's fair.
But just
Yeah.
dribble it down. And hey, if they foul us, they're bad. They're going to foul out. But yeah, they're not going to go after us. And they didn't make any mention of that. They're like, oh, well, Arkansas's handicap. They finally mentioned it, what, the first overtime? It's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But
It was
hey, they had
had
like
two
triple the
players
amount of
out.
free throws that Arkansas did. So refs did kind of screw us on that one.
They did. Like it's correct to say that. Again, when your team, who's already shorthanded, had four guys foul out and they had none, and only one player with four fouls, their best player had none. There is something to that. Arkansas fans have a legitimate gripe there.
And that
But
head ref of that crew. Yeah. I think Arkansas has only beat them 6 times out of the last so many years.
yeah, there's
It's not a
clearly
good look for him.
no, it's
So there's
not
clearly
at
a
all.
bias.
There is. Anyway, Hogs did rebound against Missouri. Good for them. They got A&M tomorrow night. Quickly predictor for that: Arkansas or A&M.
On the road or home?
I don't remember.
Probably A&M.
I'm gonna go Hogs. I'm gonna go Hogs on that. So we'll pick on that. But we're out of time, so we'll see y'all next time. Till then, I'm Grandpal.
Brother Brown.
Deuces y'all.
Peace.